How's it going, YouTube? It's Lucas here from the 8225 channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing this barbecue lighter. Just kidding, that's totally what it looks like, but I'm actually going to be reviewing this thing. This is technically a Radioshack Tandy, I guess, because subsidiaries and such. Radioshack 928 vehicle. This thing, I found it at the thrift store recently, and I thought it was kind of neat because it's Martini and Rossi. Well, I mean, technically just a Martini livery on a 928, and a very strange, almost Rocket Bunny styling of aero package. I don't really know. Yeah, I saw this thing. I was like, hey, that looks kind of neat. Well, hey, it has a controller taped to the front of it, and it only has one button. So I already can know what this thing does. So this thing, if you couldn't tell, it has the one button and will go forward when you turn it on, and when you hit the button it goes backwards and turns left, just because of a small wheel under here. If you thought these wheels would spin, you're wrong. This wheel is the thing that actually turns and makes it spin. When it's going forward, it pushes back, and when it goes in reverse, it pushes back and turns, or pushes it forward and turns, whatever. Otherwise, rear-wheel drive, not have any differentials or suspension or anything essentially to it, which makes this thing a very simple car actually. For having as many batteries as it does, it certainly does have not a lot of stuff going on with it. Yeah, it takes 4 AA's and a single 9-volt and a 9-volt for this thing, and it's interesting for not having, 2 channels technically. Yeah, only has one channel. You push the button and it goes backwards and turns. Otherwise, if you let off the button, then it just continues forward, which is usually, I think, reversed for most of these vehicles. Usually when you turn it on, it goes backwards and turns, and when you push the button, it goes forward, but I could be wrong. Yeah, this is a very, I think, like a 1/18th scale 928. It's a very well done vehicle. I mean, other than the fact that I don't particularly care for how it looks, because it's a 928. Yeah, Porsche, Tandy. Yeah, that's about all that I have to actually say about the vehicle. It works fine. It's much like the Hugo Boss 959. It's interesting. The controller is kind of nice, because I mean, it's a walkie-talkie or a barbecue lighter. I believe this is the 27 band controller, because just of the 7 on the side of it. I believe there was also a gray car. That's the 49 possibly, and so it should have a 9 on here. I actually don't really know. I haven't really done much research other than it's saying Radioshack and Tandy on the front of it. I couldn't really find out that much. So yeah, very interesting vehicle. Like, if you have a very young child, I'm sure pushing a button would be simple enough to figure out what it does. I think most of the small children that I know of actually know how to function an RC car, which is, there aren't very many small children left in the family. So yeah, just if you give this to a small child, they'll probably figure out how this thing works. Otherwise, that's about the only thing that I got to say about this thing. It's a single channel RC. I don't really know how you expect it to be that insane. Yeah, I've been dragging this out too long. Lucas out. Bye, YouTube.